All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Go With The Flow. I'm your host, Folarin Okulaja, here with another special guest. We're recording this on December 7th, 2025, but this is coming out in the new year. So just for all intents and purposes, pretend like we're in 2026. Happy New Year, all that fun stuff. But my guest today is CamilosGarden. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate you.
And this is, I love episodes like this because you had just reached out to me online, just being like, I messed with the podcast and I was like, appreciate it. I'm always looking for guests, so feel free to pop on. And now, like a couple months later,
Yep.
here we are. So this is literally our first time meeting just a couple minutes ago. And I always love that because I've done this for a couple years. I've had a lot of friends on here, but I feel like the most genuine conversations are with people I'm meeting for the first time when I do my research and we just get to really feel that vibe out for the first time. So first of all, appreciate you reaching out and messing with the podcast, and I appreciate you
100%, bro. Of course.
coming on.
For having me.
Of course. So before we even dive into things, so I looked at, you posted your Spotify rap like as an artist. And so just so people have a little bit of an idea, so this last year of 2025, you had 132,000 listeners, 550, and this is Spotify specifically, 550,000 streams across 171 different countries, which is just insane numbers for you. You're what, 23 years old?
Yeah.
Just getting started. So tell the people who you are, give your background, just introduce them to yourself.
Shit, man. Well, I'm an artist from Queens, New York. I was born and raised in Queens. Two Colombian parents. I had a pretty, regular childhood growing up. I come from a pretty big family, so I was always involved in like family festivities and like get-togethers and shit. And of course, there was a lot of music around. I grew up around a lot of like Colombian music specifically, salsa, cumbia, shit like that. Once I got older, I started getting into hip hop, and I started researching older hip hop artists, how hip hop started and shit like that. And I just fell in love with it, man. And I just started making like poems in my phone and at the lunch table, rapping with my friends. And over time, I realized that I kind of had like a skill for it, like I was confident in it. And I was playing basketball at the time because I wanted to be a basketball player.
Didn't we all?
Yeah, exactly, right? I tell that all the time. And it's crazy. I remember going to the doctor, and the doctor literally told me, like, I might have been like maybe 9 years old at the time. And the doctor asked me what I want to be when I'm older. I said a doctor. And he was like, yo, listen, if your head doesn't hit the doorway when you walk in this room.
You mean a basketball player?
Oh, yeah. I'm
yeah.
basketball player.
Yeah.
He was like, if your head don't hit the doorway when you walk in this room, you're not going to be a basketball player. I'm like, yo, what? I was so mad at the time. But looking back, he kind of was dead ass right, bro. Because it's like, I'm dead not making it to the league with my height. But yeah, bro, once I gave up on that, I was like, nah, like I dead got to be the biggest fucking musician, bro. So ever since then, I've been locked in, man. Once I got to high school, and I met my manager and shit, and we just started working together, crafting a sound. And that's kind of when I found auto-tune too, because I didn't have auto-tune on my computer prior to that. So I was just doing more so Boom-Bap. And then once I found out, I could like sing a little bit, started making songs for girls and shit like that. Getting a little buzz in my high school and shit. And then once TikTok came around, that's when shit really like took off. Like I started doing the content. And yeah, man.
Yeah.
Fast forward, now we here.
And I'm going to ask you about that too, because I looked through your TikTok and I feel like you were on it early and I could see how strategic you were about certain things, whether it's like one specific song, you're just going to keep pumping this and driving this before you drop it. So we'll get to that in a bit. But so just talk me through the earlier days. So you just said like you started making music, you realized you were good at it, you met a manager. When it comes to your style of music, because initially it was rap and then eventually you transitioned to the pop. So just talk me through that decision making and what your mindset was around that.
So like the real genesis of when I started making music, it was straight like Boom-Bap, bro. Because I was listening to like Mad, Pro Era, Joey Badass, Capital Steez. Like Capital Steez is still my favorite artist of all time, because those are the people I really looked up to. Like I remember watching their videos on YouTube, and like Mad, Kendrick, Cole, like real rap shit, bro. And I was just doing bars, bro, like doing freestyles with my friends and shit like that. Then once I got to high school, that's when like more so the melodic wave started coming up in New York, and we were like, all right, cool. I more so was thinking like, how do I, because the Boom-Bap stuff was kind of like outdated, You know, so it's like, how do I make people fuck with this? But people like the melodic shit, the turn up shit. All right, let me make some of that. So I started fucking with the auto-tune, singing a little bit more. And then as the fucking music scene evolved, I just kept evolving as well, you know?
When it comes to the rapping versus the singing, which do you prefer and which do you think you're better at?
Yo, it's crazy, bro, because I feel like I'm such a talented rapper. Like, I'm not the best freestyler. My friends are way better freestylers than me. Every time we're going off the top, like we play a beat in the car or whatever, they're always way better than me. Like I'm all right, I could keep up, but their bars are crazy. However, when I really sit down and really think about my lyrics and make a rap song, bro, I feel like I'm top tier. Like my bars is crazy, bro. And then also, I love singing because I'm just in love with melodies, bro. Like that's my favorite shit. So I don't know. I feel like I'm really good at both. Singing is definitely harder because it's like you have to actually stay on pitch and like do runs, and you know it's more methods to it. Rapping is more straightforward. So I guess on a technicality, I'd be better at rapping, but I love both.
Fair enough, fair enough. And so now speak to me a little bit about your process of actually making music. You just spoke a little bit to it. With rap, if you feel like you sit and write things down, you can really get into it. If you want to put out a project, whether it's like you're starting with a song or an album, just talk me through what your mindset is and how you actually go through that entire process.
Yeah, bro. It really is kind of dependent on what my goal is at the time. So as far as like my last album, guess I'll just say Here, that process was kind of different than how I do with singles, cause I'm not really the biggest like studio guy anymore. I used to be early in my career. I used to be amazed to go to the studio, like, oh, I love being here, the vibes and shit. But now, what I tend to do more so now is instead of booking out a studio that would be like, well, like let's say 100 an hour, right? And you got to get a certain amount of hours. Bro, I'd rather just take a trip, go to LA, go to Miami, go to Colombia, go somewhere like distant and just lock in with my producers, engineers, and my team and literally just bring the whole setup there, bro. Set up the mic, set up the speakers, set up everything you need and just lock in there, bro. That ass, and it's also a way better vibe and you could stay in the crib. It's like you lock in 24/7, bro. So to me, it just makes way more sense to do that than rather than go to a studio. But as far as like the music making process itself, I feel like I usually start with a good hook. And I don't mean a hook like a chorus. I mean like a hook as in the first part of the song. So take my last song, for example, Prettiest Face That I Seen. Like that shit literally just came to the top of my head. Like that was the first thing I thought to say. And then from there, I just keep progressing and do my best to make shit as catchy as possible while still keeping a good meaning. Cause I like to actually say shit in my music, bro. I don't like to just be chatting, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's cool because candidly, before you'd reach out, I didn't know who you were. But then after that, I went through and watched a bunch of your stuff on YouTube. So if you saw a spike in your listenership in that 1 week period, it was probably me. just listening across everything. But I really messed with the music because it was like one, kind of like you said, you can listen to it. If you listen to it and you didn't know who it was, you'd be like, "Oh, this is like a really big artist." Because it sounds like a lot of the popular.
Everybody be saying that shit.
Which I think is a compliment. I don't know if you take it this one, but it shows like your sound is at a point where if you could just be pumped into the mainstream, people would really buy into it. And so that's what I really just enjoyed. And we'll get to the music video shortly, but I love that you do music videos all the time because I love music videos, and I feel like a lot of artists have moved away from that. And so it's always cool to see the accompanying visuals and be like, okay, you're getting the sense of how.
Not to cut you off, but I feel like I wanted to say something about the fact that it's like the music, it sounds so mainstream, bro.
I didn't say it sounded mainstream. I said
no.
Okay,
like,
okay.
I get it's not a bad thing. I get what you're saying. Like the music sounds like a big artist. Like if you're pumped to the mainstream, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
What I want to say though, real quick, is I feel like, and this might be advice to upcoming artists too. In a way, it's a good thing because it sounds like it's like a standard sound or whatever. But I feel like as of recently, bro, I've been trying to not make it mainstream. Like, of course, there's methods of making music, but I feel like I be skipping steps sometimes, bro. And I just want to get off my chest. Like, what I'm trying to do now is try to make the sound less mainstream, if that makes sense. Bro.
Interesting. So when you say you feel like you're skipping steps, break that down a little bit for me.
Like, I was watching this podcast recently. from this amazing songwriter, Teron Thomas. Shout out to him. And he was saying how people want to go make Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, but bro, you got to make House of Balloons first. People want to make fucking what's Post Malone's biggest song? Sunflower, whatever, right?
White Iverson.
Yeah.
Something big, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but that's my point. Is like you got to make White Iverson.
Oh, fair. You got fair. The
you know
earlier stuff before you get to the later stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like you can't make fucking Cowboy Carter by Beyonce without starting from the earlier steps or earlier stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when I make those pop songs, it's like I just be feeling like I be skipping steps, even though they're good songs. But I feel like it's better to try to make your own sound and then build up to those bigger sounding records sometimes.
So then for you, what would that sound like then if you were just trying to be as authentic as yourself and not trying to aspire to anything?
I think is what I'm going to be releasing now. I kind of did a little bit of it with my latest release, Gone, but what I'm doing is blending the English with my Hispanic culture, my Latin side, and trying to combine two worlds and make it still palatable to a mainstream audience while not as similar to what's already out.
Yeah, and I even just hearing you say that, it's an interesting point. The way I'm looking at it is if your authentic sound is one that sounds like that end product already, then that's just kind of your reality. But if it's you trying to aspire to and shift your sound so you sound like what's really popular, then I can see how that's a bad process. So I guess it's about being
strategy.
Yeah, and being authentic to yourself, I think, is what matters. And so I mentioned this a little bit, but music videos. Talk to me about why that's something you've leaned into from the start and why you still do that as consistent.
Bro, I love videos. I'm huge into movies. I'm huge into shows. I just love cinematography as a whole. And like the person that directs all my videos is my best friend. So it's like that's really my brother. Shout out to JB Ty. But I just love the whole process, bro. Getting ready in the morning, getting dressed, picking outfits, picking locations, picking shots, bro. Like, bro, I literally be on Shot Deck. Like, you know what Shot Deck is?
Nah.
Okay, so Shot Deck is like, it's a website. I don't know if it's free, but it's a website basically, and it takes like shots from movies and shows, and then it lets you build a shot. Like, you could literally like take it from the website. Let's say alleyway, and it'll show you alleyways from like The Godfather and like from a TV show on Apple TV, like whatever, and you could build a shot list looking at shots. But yeah, bro, I'm into all that shit. Like, I love doing fucking treatments and even down to the cameras, bro, to the lenses that I want to use, like all that, bro. I love it.
It's funny because what's the name of the program you just said, or the website you just said?
Shot Deck.
Shot Deck. So I haven't used it, but we have. So for my clothing brand, we have one of our friends, this guy Hamza. Shout out Hamza, who's elite. All the content that we do on our social media, he makes. For our last drop in November, we filmed this long cinematic video, and I'm pretty sure he had sent us something, and it sounds like exactly what you're describing. So I think that's what he used. But he's the one who's like really into like, I need every shot to be as perfect as possible. Word. And I'll show you the final product. It's insane. It's one of those things where it's cool to see how talented people are and how they can execute with such little resources. And so as he keeps going and going, I'm like, I'm excited to see what he'll be able to do. But I mean, that's another thing that I relate to in the sense of like with the brand that we have, just obsessing over all the different details. So when we have our photo shoot day, making sure everything's right. When we're doing our content, making sure everything's right. So it's cool to hear you have that same experience also with the music videos.
Yeah, I'm crazy, bro. Like, I love all aspects of this music shit, like down to songwriting, producing, the videos. Like, I did a whole short film for my album. It's crazy, bro. But I love it all, even though it's stressful sometimes. But
what's the most stressful part?
Shit, knowing how to deal with all the ups and downs, bro. Because it's like it's easy when it's ups. It's hard when it's downs, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to know how to keep pushing through, keep being consistent when it feels like nobody's watching. But it's always people watching, but it feels like nobody's watching, you know?
Yeah.
It feels like that as creatives sometimes when we might not get the most amount of streams, the most amount of views, or whatever the case may be, but stop crying and keep going, bro.
That's it. Stay consistent. That's one of my favorite saying. Nobody cares. Work harder. That's kind of the motive. Because even I take everything back to one the podcast, which I've done now for a couple of years. But you might have a guest that you think is going to do numbers and it doesn't do that many numbers. But like, what are you supposed to stop? No, you keep going.
bro.
And then another clip will do well with the clothing brand. Like I remember, it's so interesting how, because we only launched in June, but we've put out 2 collections now. For our second collection, we like did all this great promo with this great rollout, which everyone was so complimentary with the rollout. On drop day, we didn't really do that many sales, but then we did our pop-up the next weekend and we did by far the most sales we've done in a day. So if we had anchored to, oh fuck, we dropped on this Saturday and no one really bought anything, we would have been mad sad. But then we fast forward a week and it's like, oh no, we're good. So it's all a process. You got to put the steps in, put the reps in, and that's kind of the beauty of it all.
Another thing too is like, don't get so caught up in one thing. Like, you know, us as you're creative as well, is like you could relate. We get so excited, like you said, like, oh, this guest, like, man, I know this is gonna hit me a new song. Like, all right, people gonna jack this one. Like, we get so excited, so riled up, but it's like, and then let's say it doesn't do good. It's like, damn, bro. But you gotta just keep focusing on the future, bro. What's next? What's next? What's next? I don't know what director it was off the top of my, I keep forgetting, but there was this big movie director that he had this famous quote. It said he might work on a movie or script and it comes out and he doesn't care if it does good or bad because he's already on the next one, bro. So whether that shit does good, bad, whether you like it or hate it, he don't really even give a fuck no more. He's already focused on the next one.
Yeah, it's about consistency. Because even, with music, I imagine it's the exact same way. It's like you always need to have stuff planned out. With our we literally have our entire next collection planned and ready to go already, but we still have a lot to sell in our current one. We already have items for our next fall and winter collection. So it's a fun process, and it keeps you always going because you never run out of things to do, which is always exciting to have. So now talk to me about how you would describe your own musical sound for the people listening, which I assume anyone who's clicked play has gone to listen to the music, but describe it in your own words.
Man, it's really a good blend. I try to keep it as melodic as possible because I'm really heavy into like pop music, bro. I love like early 2000s pop and even down to like Katy Perry, Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake, like Frank Ocean. Like I love pop music, bro. However, I try to also make it palatable to, you know, the people around me, bro, because I'm from New York. So it's like pop music ain't always the coolest thing to play when you in a car with your friends and shit. So what I try to do is combine both worlds as much as possible. And lately what I've been trying to do is bring the Latin side into it too, because I feel what makes you special as an artist is a big part of how you sell yourself, right? So culture. Like, I might not be the best singer, I may not be the best rapper, but everybody can speak Spanish and English. You know what I'm saying? Being bilingual, that's a really big blessing, and I have to use that to my advantage. And being able to take advantage of use your advantages to the highest ability is something that we gotta not shy away from, you know?
Yeah.
As creatives.
I like that. Yeah, we all have our own superpowers, so you might as well lean into it. And that goes back to not trying to be like everybody else.
Yeah.
Because if there was one thing you kept trying to go for, but they weren't bilingual and maybe speaking Spanish, it was like, oh, if they're not doing that, maybe I shouldn't. But that's another great message is everyone is great at something, but too often we try to fit ourselves into this box. But like, look at what makes you you and what helps you stand out, and just lean even more into that. And so, who are some of you just mentioned some pop artists, but when you think back to your music making journey and who it is that you're aspiring to be, who would you say are some of your biggest musical inspirations?
I'll say it's definitely Frank Ocean, Justin Bieber, Drake, Kanye, Travis Scott. Lately for all the Latin side, I mean, I grew up on so many Latin artists too, like all the salsa bands, Grupo Nietzsche, Guayacan, fucking Shakira, Juanes. As more recently, I've been listening to a lot of Bad Bunny, a lot of Fade. So many artists, bro. I really like Lil Durk a lot too. I really like YNW Melly. So many, bro. I could go down the list.
And so I started with saying some of your Spotify rap numbers as an artist. What does your Spotify rap look like as far as who you listen to, like over the past year?
Shit, well, believe it or not, I use Apple Music for real.
What?
Yeah, not really.
What? I find. What did your replay look like? I'm the biggest Apple Music hater that there is.
You use Cash App or Venmo?
I have everything.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Or do you mean like which is like my main one? Because I have everything, but Venmo's like the go-to.
Yeah, makes sense. Me and my friends have this conversation all the time. It's like people that use Spotify are going to use Venmo. People that use Cash App use Apple Music.
I've never thought about that, but now that you said that, I'm gonna go.
Like, it's dead ass a fact though, bro. Like, especially when I was in college and shit, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, you could Venmo me." I said, Venmo?
What is that?
I use Venmo. Like, I got Cash App, bro. Like, nah, it's not funny though. But my replay was shit. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, might as well.
I forgot, bro.
Might as well. And it's funny because I used to be
on that shit though.
I was a Apple Music user until like 3 or 4 years ago, and then I made the switch, and now I'm the biggest pro Spotify person that there is.
I like Spotify too. I have friends that have everything, and shout out to them. But
I just like I like all my data consolidated in one place. So I don't want to listen in both places because I want an accurate end of year recap.
Of course, facts, and that's why I like Apple Music, because it's like I turn on my MacBook and it's like it's there. My iPhone is there.
Well, I'm looking at my Spotify app on my laptop right now.
Man, but this shit is built into the phone, bro. Like, shit just, you open the phone, it's right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, but nah, my top artist of 2025, my replay was Drake at the one. I'm basic, bro.
Which is so funny on that point, because I remember, I don't know where you fall on the Drake, Kendrick and all that, which again, I feel like is old news at this point, but I remember at the peak of those conversations, everyone saying, oh, Drake is finished, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
As I was tapping through every single
everybody got Drake,
replay,
all the Drake haters.
I saw Kendrick barely. You see Drake everywhere. He was always going to be fine. So that's just, yeah. He was number 3 on my list, and I didn't even think I listened to him that much either.
Shit is crazy, bro. Yeah, I got Drake, I got CamilosGarden, Bad Bunny.
I like that you're number 2 on your side. My podcast was my most listened to podcast also.
Gotta be, bro.
If you don't support yourself, who will?
Yo, and I ain't gonna lie, bro. This is not even counting listening to the unreleased. If I go on the Untitled app with all my unreleased music, oh my God.
You're number 1 by far.
10,000 minutes, bro. Dead ass. Bad Bunny, Fade, Lil Durk, Omar Course, Justin Bieber, Party Next Door, Frank Ocean, Lil Uzi, Central C, Lil Baby. That's crazy.
So a little bit all over the place, but some of the artists that you just said are your inspirations. Nice. Okay, so now transitioning a little bit to some of the viral moments you've had over the past couple of years. I feel like one of the first ones was your "All I Want for Christmas Is Drill" trend and video. Tell the people what that was. Speak to that.
Shit, now that was a crazy era right there, man.
Because it's also crazy because I'd remember when I was doing my research on you and I saw you speak about that in a podcast, I was like, oh, I remember when that was a thing.
I feel like everybody saw that shit.
It was you.
It was a little moment in the studio, I ain't gonna lie. Nah, that was a cool era, bro. That's like NYC Drill was, taking over for real. And I was doing melodic rap at the time. And I remember being in the studio and we had the idea like, yo, what if we make a drill song and make it about Christmas? Like, that's mad funny. Like, if we do that shit, like, that would be mad funny, bro. Just mad bars about Christmas. And I kind of, like, rubbed it off, I guess, or shrugged it off. And then they was telling me, like, nah, bro, do it. I was like, fuck it, bro. Shit was a whole joke, bro. I was trying to be funny. Like, I'm a really funny guy, bro. I don't know if people know, but I'm dead ass, like, mad funny, bro. Into a lot of type of humor. So I said, I just did it, bro. Some funny shit. And then, my manager had the idea to do the Zoom with the teacher and then make everybody get sturdy.
So I was trying to find the original video and I couldn't actually find it back.
It got taken down because of sound, bro.
Okay, got you. Because I saw all the trend, but I was trying to find the original video, but I couldn't find that.
Yeah, I could probably find it for you to show you after. But basically the video is like, it's a teacher and then I'm telling her, she's like, what the fuck was it again? Nah, I forgot. Oh, my teacher said play your favorite Christmas song. So I played a song and, it starts with Mariah Carey, all I want for Christmas is you. But then it goes to the Joe Gang, Merry Christmas, only thing about bitches is bitches. And she's like, the teacher's like, what the fuck? But then all the classmates was like, oh, it's fucking sturdy, getting lit. She's like, what the fuck is going on? And then I just caught all that energy on camera, super organic, super raw, and bro, people loved it. Like that shit exploded, bro. Like,
yeah, you literally set a trend. That's one of those things where like even the most recent one that's going on right now is the matcha and quarter zip. Like it was that level of like just took off.
Yeah, like for that Christmas holiday season, bro, like that shit was everywhere, man. And then we did the music video and so many people came out, man. That shit was so fun at the time, bro. Like I had a blast, man. That shit was lit.
Yeah, and even if you search All I Want for Christmas is Drill on TikTok, you still see all the videos and all the trends because again, you started a trend. And so how did that help your career at all, if at all?
Nah, for sure, bro, because until that moment, it was just like, you know, many little spurts of like buzz and stuff, but that was like the first really big like, oh shit, who is this guy? I started getting hit up by everybody, bro. Everybody started paying attention like, whoa. And then what was good was that I was so consistent prior to that it wasn't like he just made a random song. It's like, nah, like he's a dead-ass artist. Like I'm fucking with his old shit too. And yeah, bro, that shit got me into mad rooms, bro. Mad rooms. That shit got me flown out to LA, meeting with labels. I met huge names, bro, like huge. And it was crazy because after that whole wave was over, it was kind of like like I said, I had to learn with like dealing with, how do I say it? Like, not like, seeing it die down was kind of hard for me at the time because I wasn't used to that. It was just such a high and then you went back down, but you're not really lower. You're higher than you started.
Yeah.
But in your mind, it's just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what just happened? And I think a lot of artists deal with that too if they have a really big hit or like a smash. I never had a smash, but I'm just assuming what it would feel like. So that was something I had to learn to deal with too, because that shit took a toll on me, bro. Like I was low-key fucked up in the crib, like, damn, bro, like, fuck is going on? Like,
and I think that's something worth talking about even a little bit more, because I don't even think that's unique to artists. I think it doesn't matter what industry you're in, there's always moments I think virality is the best way to like explain it to the mainstream, but you can have a moment at work where you're on top of the world and then all of a sudden things are back down. But yeah, like you said, in this new influencer era and viral era where you could have like this guy who's doing the matcha and like it'll die down eventually. And so hopefully he's able to capitalize in a way that he can build a little bit more longevity. And when the music does stop, as the phrase goes, hopefully he's not like, oh fuck, what do I do now? So I think that's something a lot more people deal with than you realize. So it's interesting to hear you speak honestly.
A lot of artist friends that I've seen deal with that shit too, you know? Yeah, bro, I feel like it's important to talk about that because a lot of people may not ever experience that. Yeah. Because, of course, it's true across all other industries, but it's different when it's so viral like that, bro. Like, everybody's talking about you. And now I've gotten to a point where I've kind of become more accustomed to it. So I know, like, okay, we're on a high right now. Cool, bro. Enjoy it. Live it up. But just when it's over, like it's not over, bro. Like we good, bro. We good. Like keep going. We good. At the moment though, that was the first time that ever happened to me, bro. So I was kind of bugging, like, damn, bro, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You can never get too high. You can never get too low. That's with everything in life. How do you stay as even killed as possible, even when things are great? And then so you have been on the radar a couple times now. The first time, how did that come about?
The first time was around it was right after Christmas drill, I think. Okay. Yeah, it was because I remember I was in Colombia for New Year's and I had to fly back. So yeah, it was. I've been hitting up Gabe at the time. Shout out to Gabe, man, great guy. And he finally responded like, "Yo, sorry, just seeing this, but yeah, I just checked this shit out. Fire! Like I've been seeing the video everywhere. Pull up whenever you're back." I pulled up on him. We did the interview. We did the freestyle. Yo, I bodied that freestyle too, by the way.
You did. I just watched it.
It was on some drill shit, but I feel like when I go back and listen to that shit, I'd be like, damn, like I was fake talking on that. But I literally remember writing my verse on the plane back too, bro. That's such a good moment, man. Good era.
And then the second time around, you are now on your more melodic vibes, and so then you did the song. So talk about. I think that's even just that's a good thing about content is you get to see your growth in real time. You get to see
the whole story.
Exactly. The first time it was more like you did the interview, you did the drill, and then the second time you did the more melodic singing. So I guess even just for yourself as you reflect, how do you think? how do you think you grew as an artist in that in-between period?
So much, bro. Like dealing with the loss of a relationship, dealing with growing as a person too, becoming more understanding of the industry, because that was like the first time I had so many eyes on me. I grew a lot from that, bro. Being in certain rooms, meeting new people, traveling a lot more. Like I wasn't traveling as much before that too. So that was what, 2021 to 2024. That's like 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Bro, yeah, those 3 years, it was crazy, bro. And also just musically too, because I was making so much more new music and expanding my sound as well too. I got a lot better at making music too, bro. Because when I did that, the most recent On The Radar, that was when my album came out. Well, before my album came out, but that was a song. I did Keem off of my album. And that was a really introspective song too, because in that song, I kind of deal with everything I'm talking about for real, just like the kind of solace I was feeling after Christmas Drill died out and losing a part of my relationship, and dealing with my friendships when everybody's feeling like everybody's against me when they're really not. Everybody's just trying to help me, dealing with that, becoming a better friend, becoming a better family person, becoming a better partner in a relationship, just become a better person overall. I'm really reflecting on that.
Gotcha. And so now transitioning a little bit to something that I mentioned earlier, which is the fact that you've leaned into TikTok from the start.
Mm-hmm.
And so as I look at your social media presence, you've done a pretty good job across all the different channels of just consistently putting stuff out. I'm curious, because you have literally a YouTube video with 2.7 million views, one of your songs. I'm curious which of the different platforms feels like the most, like if you get a viral video on TikTok or on Instagram or on YouTube, which do you feel like really translates into like building your listenership? If that makes sense. Yeah. Because I feel like at the end of the day, I would assume the core thing is the music. Like that's what you want to you want to grow that audience. So I'm curious which of the different platforms helps you build that the most.
I would say probably TikTok and Instagram, just due to the Reels and FYP, bro. That gives you the most exposure and most awareness to new listeners, which allows them to then be like, oh, who is this guy? I like this song. Let me check his page out. Go stream, you know?
Gotcha. And so as you look at all the different inflection points you've had, whether it's the drill, whether it's On The Radar, which do you think has been the biggest like spike in your audience?
I think it would probably be when I dropped the song Where the Love Go. Just because that wasn't even like a kind of, that wasn't no marketing behind that. It wasn't low plan. I literally was in the crib. I recorded the song, showing people how I made the song. I didn't record the song. I recorded the video showing people how I made the song. And they just fucked with it, bro. Heavy. Like really, really, really heavy. Heavier than all the other songs that I released up until that point. And I was just like, wow. Maybe that was like a turning point too, because I was saying like, oh, people fuck with this like vibey type of music, bro. This melodic shit. Let me keep leaning into that. So I think, yeah, definitely that moment, bro.
Gotcha. And then other things that I'm sure have helped you in meaningful ways, and we were speaking about this a little bit before we started recording, but you mentioned that you were part of Lil Tjay's tour for a short part of it. Can you just speak a little bit to that experience? And you performed at the O2 Arena, so just little things like that. That's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Towards the end of his tour in 2023, I was hopping on a few shows. I did Toronto. I did a few shows in California, and it was just a crazy experience, bro. Because up until that point, I never really did huge crowds consistently, like back to back like that. I did a few like spots in the city with a couple thousand people, but I never got to experience like a full whole arena.
O2 Arenas, that's like the peak, that's the pinnacle. If you want to perform in London, that's where you want to perform.
O2 the following year, 2024, like I was even crazier, bro. Like I was.
Oh, that was a different tour.
Yeah, that was different.
Okay.
That was the following year.
Okay. Still with Lil Tjay, or who's that with?
Yeah, that was TJ too.
Okay.
That was insane, bro. Like I was fake backstage like, damn, what the fuck is going on, bro?
How'd I get here? I'm just a kid from Queens.
Yo, literally, bro. But it's such a good experience, man. Shout out to TJ. Shout out to everybody on that team, man. Like that was a crazy experience, man. And I got to really connect with so many fans on those shows too, bro. Cause it's like I would go talk to them after the show too, you know? And people still hit me up to this day. Like, yo, I saw you at this arena, this show, or this stage, and yo, I still listen to your music to this day. I'm like, yo, appreciate all of y'all, man, because that shit is crazy.
Yeah, it's got to be a great feeling. I think even on that scale is insane, but even I think to myself when I just get the little DMs, so like I fuck with their podcast or I fuck with the brand, like that feels good.
Yeah.
So being able to see it in a real way in person, like I can only imagine what that feels like. And then next, I think I've seen you post a couple times with ASAP Ferg. What's that relationship like?
Yeah, nah, that's big bro for real, man. Like shout out to Ferg. He just did he was a cameo on my short film too. I didn't release it yet, but he always be giving me great advice, man. Every time I see him, it's always love. He just dropped the album too, Flip Phone Shorty. Make sure y'all go check that shit out. Shit is fire. And yeah, I fuck with his whole team, bro. Great people on that side, man.
Bet. And then just a couple more things before we wrap it up. So one of the quotes that I've heard you say on a few different appearances that you've made that I really love is the idea that nobody owes you anything. Speak to me a bit about how you've developed that mindset and how you really embody that.
Yeah, I mean, the more I grow in this industry, bro, I see that it's like it's my goal, bro. I don't like to call it a dream. I like to say it's a goal, but this is my goal. I want to be the artist. I want to be the biggest artist. I want to be on the stages, bro. So it's like I can't expect nobody else to want it as bad as I want it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the person that is the leader. I should take the initiative to push everybody with me. And this is not saying that you could do shit alone, because you do need a team. You do need people to help you. You can't get to that stage just doing it alone. You know what I'm saying? But it is saying don't wait on nobody. Like don't be expecting handouts from nobody because they don't owe you nothing, bro. Like they have their life, you have your life. This is what you chose to do with your life. So take it on the chin and keep pushing forward.
That is one of the most important realizations that I've also had over the past couple of years. Honestly, the first time I remember having that realization was, so I used to work in finance.
Okay.
And
I remember finance, bro.
I was a bro in finance. I was not a finance bro. I didn't wear the vest. I didn't do any of that.
Oh, that's why you use Venmo, right?
But I remember when I was an intern, and I remember just having some conversation with some MD, blah, blah, blah. And he made a comment about like, oh, like, I have my kids that like, I'm trying to make sure that they're good. And this way, he didn't mean it in like a, you know, like F you. It was just kind of like, when it comes to like who I care about, it's like me and my family, that's who I'm trying to take care of.
Facts.
Yes, I can help. I'll help you where I can. But at the end of the day, like you're not blood. Like I'm not really going to move mountains for you. And I remember hearing that and I was like, honestly, I'm not mad at that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get it. At the end of the day, it's up to me to do what I need to secure this internship, blah, blah, blah. Yep. But like, I can't look to this one MD or partner and expect them to move mountains and do all these things for me because they have their people that they love and care about, and you expect that. And then as I've gone through, just like, I'm only 26, so I'm not like super old, but with the podcast, with my professional career, with the clothing brand, it's like, at the end of the day, I have such big goals for myself. And I tell myself every single day, if I don't get where I want to go, I can't blame anyone except myself.
Yep.
At the end of the people will help you, blah, blah, blah. Yes, but you need to hustle. You need to make yourself undeniable with every single thing that you're doing. And I just hate that so many people, they just love to assign blame. And they like say, oh, this didn't happen because this person didn't help me. That person didn't help me. I DM'd this person about my brand. They didn't respond. Who cares? Nobody cares. Work harder.
That's
and I think
of a loser, bro.
If enough people embody that mindset of just like, accountability starts with yourself. Yep. You will push yourself that much harder. And then when you do achieve all the things you know you can, you'll be able to look back like, this is because I did this. And yes, people will help you. You can't do anything by yourself, but it needs to start with you. So I love that quote. And I hope it's something that everybody can just embrace.
It goes both ways, bro, for the L's and the W's. Like when it's a W, oh, everybody love taking the blame for that. Yeah, that was on me. When it's a L, oh, nah, it's because this person, that person, this person. It's like, nah, bro, put it on yourself too, bro. It's all right. Cause it's not a loss if you jacket, bro. Like if we on a team and the team loses, it's everybody's individual fault on that team, bro. It's not, oh yeah, it's because he missed the buzzer beater. Like, nah, bro, we a team. You know what I'm saying? Like, but take the L on yourself too. Just how when you take the W, we take it together. You know
Yeah, accountability matters. And I hate that I'm forgetting this exact quote, but I have a colleague of mine at my current job. He loves using like different quotations. He said this one. It was something along the lines of every failure or like every failure is an orphan, but every success has like all the parents. Just this idea that like, yeah, when something,
that's fire.
Yeah, well, you know, I'll need to get the exact quote, but yeah, when something's fucked up, no one wants to take responsibility. But when something works well, everyone has a hand in it. And so it's just like, we need to, as people, just look yourself in the mirror, do the best that you can, and don't blame anyone except yourself. And if you have that mindset, like things will take off for you. And then so just last question for you, and again, imagine we're in 2026, so we're in the new year. When you look back, or as you look ahead to this year, what will a successful 2026 look like for you? I guess, what are you trying to get out of it?
I want to become a more disciplined person as far as like, even my personal life, bro. I want to be consistent in the gym. I want to be consistent eating better. I want to be more outgoing. And as far as the music, I want to really lock in and be disciplined with the sound and what I'm putting out, bro. Since I make such a variety of music, bro, sometimes it's hard to like decide what I want to put out, because it's like, oh, this is good, but that's good. This, like, nah, bro. This year I really want to focus, put out a sound that's consistent, and make people fuck with it, bro.
Boom. Easy. I love that. And I appreciate you coming on. I admire the hustle. I admire everything that you've built so far. I think there's still much more for you to do, which I think is the exciting part. And you got a fan in me. I'm looking forward to rooting you on along the way. And when you make it big, don't forget me. Don't forget Go With The Flow. Bro. You're always welcome back on the podcast. We need you in some Reps Capital, all that fun stuff.
Let's do it.
But yeah, no, this is any final words for the people before we wrap it up?
Keep blooming up, everybody.
There you go. This has been another episode of Go With The Flow. Thank you for listening.